What did that feel like after you sold your first company?
So the first one was euphoria, because you're like, holy shit. Called my parents, like explained it, like I'm Brazilian, so I was just talking to my parents in Portuguese. But like my mom still doesn't know what I do.
What was the first thing you did when you sold?
First thing I called my parents.
Yeah.
Then I watched Netflix for like 6 hours. I was like, dude, I have no responsibility right now. Booked a trip for my parents. I went to Europe, put them in like the Ritz, went to Spain, Barcelona, Madrid, Lisbon, and then London. Bought the Ferrari as well.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I think that you have to understand that your journey is built on skills. So it's all about the skills that you've built. That's what it comes down to. Your job is just to stack skills on top of each other and keep going and understand the different pillars. Yes, it's skills for business to make you more financially wealthy, but then there's also skills when it comes to
Renato, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, man. Excited to be here.
Brother, so I got to give you a proper intro.
Mm-hmm.
So you've bootstrapped and built your company, exited by 28 for just under 8 figs in 4 years. And then you've mastered paid ads, building sales teams, recruiting processes, and culture.
Yeah.
Dude, so I'm excited to dive into it. Where did your entrepreneurship journey begin?
It started when I was 20, I'd say.
Okay.
So I was on the path of trying to play soccer from like 15 to like 19. So I had that in terms of discipline, work ethic, like I just made that commitment. But after I got back from Italy with an injury, I was in Connecticut, and I had this first mentor of mine who was, he had a construction business. So he was doing frame and like trims and things like that. He reached out to me and he saw like potential or hunger or something in me when I was 20 and just put me into understanding what SEO was, under paid ads, and just gave me like a guidance of what to learn to incorporate into his business. And it was like the first time ever that he gave me like knowledge and insight of like what is possible out there, essentially. So he created that opportunity. After 3 months of just paying me like just a wage, he cut my salary and was like, hey, all right, you've learned enough. You helped like organize some of the stuff for SEO and paid ads for my business. Go out and go pick up clients. We'll go 50-50 on a company.
Yeah.
So like I had a wage, and then I instantly got cut out like 3 months later, where now I had to like fend for myself. And I was super pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what the hell, dude? But then later, it was like the best thing that ever happened if you look at it 2020, because he made me go out and hunt. 3 days later, picked up a website client for $600. Still know the guy's name, Mike Beaton, insurance dude, who wanted a website.
Wow.
And then got him in. He was doing health insurance, upsold him on social media. And I was just doing that a little bit when it came to like building out websites for everyone. It would be like chiropractor, landscaper, another construction guy, just like trying to pick up that, because that was like the only kind of skill that I had. And it started there until I finally picked up like a dental client who paid me like way more for a website and paid for social media marketing for like $2,000 a month. And that was like, oh, okay, these guys, they got money. So let me just focus all my attention over to dental.
Were you just building the website, or would you build it and then manage it?
I would build it, host it, and then I would try to upsell them to do social media, which would be like $200 a month at the time. Just like create content and post it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It always churned because I wasn't very successful at like consistently like creating ROI for it, up until I learned that I had to start doing paid ads for people. Because it was like consistent ROI every time.
Yeah.
If I can like, hey, you're going to put $3 in, you're going to get, $10 back. Like they'll just keep paying me ongoing.
What have you learned throughout the years of running ads?
It's all about, so there's a couple key metrics that people don't look at when it comes to paid ads. The first one is dollar per lead. So you paid to get that lead in front of someone, regardless if they showed or unqualified or qualified, you still paid for that lead.
Yeah.
And then the cash put out that you got from it is like how much was collected based on all those leads that came in. So that's dollar per lead. Huge important number to actually see if you're profitable, like on all leads that came in. Another one is you're looking at like average cash collected per rep that comes in. So like some people can have more volume and collect more cash opposed to someone that has slightly less volume and collect more cash. This person should start getting more volume because they're actually more efficient with the leads that came in through the cash they collect as well. And then the typical return on ads, the ROAS. But I like those two metrics a little bit more because it gives you really good insight. And the last one is lead to close. So like how many leads did it take to actually close that lead opposed to live call to close, which some people can like buff that up.
Of course. Okay. So you started out building websites, social media management.
Yeah.
When did it really start to pop off?
Dude, 4 years later. It's always like a huge timeline of like learning, adapting. Like I did pick up dental clients, but I didn't understand the cracking paid ads for myself. I had paid ads for clients. So I was able to get them clients and they would stay like on my ongoing, which would be like 8 months timeline or 11-month timeline. And then they would cancel. They like negotiate me down or they find another person or whatever. And like, cause like there's the LTV of client lifetime.
Exactly.
So that happened. And like, I was constantly just kind of getting on the same kind of pathway up until I noticed another trend. This was in 2021 that beauty was growing a lot. So then I pivoted over from the dental space over into the med spa and beauty space, which was salons, perm makeup, things like that. And that was because I picked up one dental or one beauty client and the average cost per lead for dental was $20 to get a lead to just like go through. For beauty, it was $4. So I was like, arbitrage here. So I pivoted over to the beauty and that's when it really grew. So you need to have like opportunity vehicle along with the skill. Cause like very, very quickly when I pivoted over to beauty, it just started going.
I love that you said that it took 4 years because social media has exacerbated this, but so many people just want quick success, quick wins. And I'm sure you've seen, and I've seen, I'm sure you've seen in your line of business, we see it all the time in the insurance side, people coming in and just expecting to make a bunch of money. And then 2 months later, they just fall off. It's not how it works. Somebody told me coming into insurance, they said, John, if you're going to get into insurance, it's a 10-year run. Like you have to commit for at least 10 years to really make something out of yourself in that business. And same thing, you could apply it to any business you're looking to start. And people look at it and they expect to see this hockey stick trajectory of growth when really it's more so along the lines of, and then you get that massive break after 4 years.
I 1,000% agree with that. I think if you're going to go into business for the long haul. 10 years solid, 15 years, like you got to look at a significantly longer timeline. And I didn't go into it with a like super long timeline. I just wasn't going to quit. I was just like, I'm going to keep trying because I've read the books. I've seen people succeed. There's people that have had less like opportunity, less things going for them, and they made it in XYZ time. Like, why not me? So that's why I stayed in. I kept trying for those 4 years, despite not really making a ton.
What was your mindset through that process? Were you unsure? Did you think about quitting, or were you just, dude, I'm like, one day I will be driving a Ferrari and one day I will be a multimillionaire?
Yeah, it was more of that. I never really had a moment where I was like, I won't be successful. I've had moments where I was down and I was like, why is it not working fast enough? Because I'm friends with entrepreneurs and like, we always had this mentality that like, keep grinding, keep growing. So I would have some friends that would pop off before me, like 2 years into my journey, 3 years into my journey. I'm like, what's going on? I'm working just as hard. But it was really, you just need the opportunity vehicle along with the skill that you're developing. And like, you don't know the unknown skills that you don't know. Your building blocks start with like, just when it comes to sales, it's not sales. It's understanding tonality. It's understanding influence. It's understanding cadence. It's understanding emotional intelligence. It's understanding like reading people's body language. And then that all combines into understanding sales. So like, you don't understand the skills, the hidden skills to actually get yourself to the level you need to be to earn what you feel like you're supposed to earn.
You're never going to out earn your level of personal development.
No, absolutely not.
What have you learned? What have you learned about sales and leadership along the way?
So it really comes down to accountability. I think that's what it comes down to. Like, I think what I'm good at least when I attract talent into my organizations, it is people that want more, but they don't know the pathway there. So that I will give them a pathway and I will coach them and keep them accountable on what they said they wanted to do. So if they want to hit XYZ goal, then like there's a certain set of actions that they got to hit and they got to do properly on a consistent basis for months, years on end to actually get there. So then I will just remind them of their goals and help realign their actions. So part of leadership is just guiding people and like keeping like their guardrails on like what they're actually supposed to do and not allow them to go into like shiny object, things here, things there, just like focus on the actual mission.
Exactly. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems.
Facts.
And so what is my system to hold myself accountable, and am I getting there day by day by day?
Mm-hmm.
If you had a bad month, if you had a low income month, if some people will say, oh, well, hopefully next month is better. If that is your mindset, you will never be successful.
Yeah.
No, hey, this is what I earned last month. This is what the business did. Okay, this is what my goal is. What are the daily inputs that I need to do in order to be able to hit this goal?
Fact.
What do I need to do every single day? And then do I have people in my circle that in my community that are going to help hold me accountable? And do I have people in my actively getting mentorship on how and on people showing me the weak points in my business where I need to level up and where I need to improve and develop on?
I agree.
Simple.
100%. I always look back, even on good months too, because you want to look at what was the best month you had and circle back on what was the successful actions that you took that got you that success. So was it a specific system? Was it a specific person you brought in? Was it a specific like ad creative you created? Like what did you learn from that last 30 day or that last quarter that you can continue to propel into the future? And vice versa on a down month, like look, what happened? Like something broke. There's always some breakage if something's going to go down. It's not always like this, like up and up and up to the right like that.
Unfortunately not.
It's not.
I wish. That'd be nice.
That'd be great, right? But that's why, like, if you look at the stock market, like it's never like that either. If you extend it out 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it really is all the way to the right.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at it on the day to day, you zoom in, it's doing this all the time.
Yeah.
So it's your level of improvement on the operations and the people. All right. It's always on the people, in my opinion. Like the systems are phenomenal, but like you got to put amazing people, empower people to grow, expand, and like allow them to grow inside of the opportunity and vehicle that you've created as well.
And the what I've learned is the bigger business you want to grow, the more control you have to give up.
Yeah.
And the more you have to trust the people that you're in business with.
Yeah. I agree.
And it's interesting because what I've learned too is you've got to really figure out a good book to read is Rocket Ship. Or Rocket Fuel. Have you read Rocket Fuel?
I've heard of it. I haven't picked it up yet though. I have to.
So it's good about if you're in a business partnership or if you're collaborating with anybody, that's a phenomenal book to read.
Okay.
And it just talks about leveraging other people's strengths and how to have the right partnerships within your group. What have you ever been in a partnership?
Yeah, man.
What partnerships have you been in?
I have. Good question. So I've had a few partnerships. I'd say the one that I just exited was with a partnership.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you guys build that to?
We built that. So we were doing right around 350 cash.
Okay. What was the premise of the business? You started out building websites? What did it turn into?
Oh, no, that became a full-on machine, bro.
Okay.
So we started off with getting people inside of running Facebook ads for them. So we would run ads, and it was immediate cash ROAS on the ads that we created. So people would come in, they'd book a call. We'd close them for between $4,800 to $5,800 for 90 days. That would be the offer that we presented. And they would start with us for 90 days. So this would be where we build out their ads, get them launched within 4 days of them paying. So they're up and running, start generating leads within the first 4 days. And then our time to value was 7 days. If we can get them 2 closed deals in 7 days, they would renew for 12 months. So that was what we optimized for the entire time. We sold 1,500 people into that system. And at peak, we had 192 that were like reoccurring with us on active. Yeah.
Solid. What was the most adversity you faced while building that business?
It was just leadership of talent. So at first, I was not very good at spotting what good talent was. So I would bring in talent, see opportunity and potential in this person, train them up, and like kept training longer despite like knowing I should have just cut them out earlier. And I did that consistently. I built a sales team, like a front end sales team for closers, 3 times. So I built a full, like, think of how annoying this is. You like hire like 3 people, like, these 3 people are it. They're solid. I believe in this person. I'm going to train this person. I'm going to give them one-on-ones. I'm going to get them up to speed. I'm going to pay money to put leads in front of them and fail. And they're, no worries. All right, cool. Build another team up. These guys are the guys. Those guys are not the right guys. These are the right guys. Do this up, one-on-one, train, paid ads, money for it. No. 3rd time. Now, though, this is the right team. And then finally you get it on that 3rd team. And like I had to go back and take phone calls myself because like you're bleeding cash when you're bringing in the wrong talent and you're not ramping them up fast enough.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're speaking my language. That's all we do. That's all we do.
Yeah.
It's hire and train guys. Yeah.
So it was, that was a very strenuous, hard time because you have to produce enough to fuel the people on payroll, but also fuel all the ads. And also you want to take profits at your level, you want to take profits at as well. So you have to work until you have systems and people in place that are executing well.
Yeah. What I'm hearing as you're saying that is, it sounds like you've been able to have a high level of self-awareness and just be able to, and this is a skill set that every entrepreneur must possess. You have to be able to self-diagnose your business.
Yeah.
Because you get mentorship and you'll have people tell you areas you can improve, but for the most part, you need to be able to spot it yourself because nobody knows your business like you.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, my business is failing. I'm just going to keep working. Hopefully things change. Eventually you're going to die.
Yeah.
And so where I'm constantly asking myself, where am I failing in my business right now?
Yeah.
Where do we have the room for the most improvement? And if you have the ability to self-diagnose and figure out where those improvements can be made, that's how you go from good to great.
Yeah. I agree with that entirely.
Yeah.
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 And it starts with data.
Yeah.
I think
you have to know your numbers. Yes.
Know your numbers.
Yes.
I know numbers to a T like good. So today's the beginning of the month. So I already tracked my entire March and looked at for each companies and seen what was spent on ads, what was the volume that was created, what is each rep doing specifically with their DPL, with their lead to close, with their average cash, their current collected, every single one already. Yeah. And it's just the next day. I did it last night.
This is one thing were you always a numbers guy? Or is that something you had to learn?
I had to learn. So, let me rephrase. So I was always good at math. So like I liked math. But when I started in business, I didn't correlate math to business at first. But then when I realized you got to just understand data and numbers and look at trends, I then started pulling a lot more into data specifically.
Got it.
I also paid mentorship. So like I had a mentor that I paid them $68,000 for the year. And then they gave me a lot of systems and processes. And they gave me closers that ended up not working as well. But it was a really good mentorship to understand how they were operating their business. They were at the time, I think they were doing like $1 million a month or something like that. And I was like, all right, what do I do to get there?
Yeah.
So then paid them, got all the SOPs, got training, and that helped me a lot. It took us from $118K a month right on up to easily 250 in the first 6 months.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. What are all the businesses you run now?
So I have a telehealth offer.
Yep.
So I help companies get started inside of the peptide space. So we have all the doctors networks and we have all the compliance to be able to offer peptides into clinics, into physicians, into even gyms if a gym wants to start offering to their client base. That's one offer, which is, I mean, peptides are hot right now, so we're doing really well.
Yeah.
And then the other one is helping people go build personal brands up, get viral. Those are my top two that are digital, and then I have a construction offer as well.
Nice.
So helping people, or just commercial construction, just doing multifamilies, hotels, at least 100 units, and that was just a venture I thought was not many people are in, and I can grow upon it.
Yeah, I love it. I want to go back and ask you about when you were building your first company. Was your goal always to sell it?
No, I was running it to make money.
What made you decide to sell?
No, well, I think what happened with me wanting to sell wasn't I wanted to sell, was I got multiple emails actually of people like saying that they wanted to, like, they're wanting to buy the business, and it was just cold emails. So I didn't fully believe it. So I was like, at one point something must have happened where I was like, let me just like see what the evaluation of this company is. So then I went to Google and I went business evaluation, and then like went through their process, and I hired two business evaluation people to give me evaluation on the company, and they both evaluated relatively the exact same amount, like up minus a couple $100,000. And I was like, oh, okay. So two different parties valued the company at a decent percentage, or a different multiple to the profit that we have.
Yeah. So
then I was like, I would sell it at this. So then I signed and went forward with our process.
Boom. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's not a bad check. I'll take it.
Yeah.
What did that feel like after you sold your first company?
Dude.
Did you feel like the man? Because some people talk about, dude, after I sold my company, like, bro, I was driving myself in the ground and I was working too much and I had the best quality of life ever.
Mm-hmm.
You also hear people where they talk about, dude, the most depressed I've ever been is after I sold my first company.
So I felt both experiences.
Yeah.
So the first one was euphoria, because you're like, holy shit, like this is like there's no feeling with getting a lump sum, like just the
when that wire hits
your bank, dude. It's a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
Called my parents, like explained it, like I'm Brazilian, so I was just talking to my parents in Portuguese, which is like super cool kind of experience, like telling my parents, because I had explained to them, I was like, hey, like I'm gonna sell my company. And my parents are amazing people, but like my mom still doesn't know what I do, because I think most parents don't, especially if you're doing something like non-traditional. It's like, hey mom, like I'm gonna sell my company, and she has no idea like if it will happen, if you won't. You don't even know, because like you're going through it for the first time as well. You're like, they said that it's gonna go through. Like you're still like waiting anticipation until it actually hits. Like there's so much process. It took us 7 months to like from when we like, all right, let's go through with this, to actually getting the wire like hit the bank. So like that was stressful as well, because you're showing your numbers every month to the company that you're gonna sell to. So then you have to do better than last year's November, last year's December, last year's January. Like you have to, otherwise they're like, what happened? I thought it was a growing company. Like what's going on? It's like you have to keep pushing the team. You have to keep running the business while still giving them all the data they ask for. And sometimes you don't have this data. You have to go make this data, because you're not running a freaking PE company. So like,
and all while showing them the business runs on by itself without you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little stressful time as well.
Yeah.
But the feeling is amazing, because I was sharing that. So like I shared in a beautiful moment with both my parents. Just like sharing with them, and like they were already retired at that point. I've retired them in 2022, but that extra feeling of like, it was amazing. And then my feeling to it as well is just like weight off your shoulder. Like you like built something and sold it full, like start to finish, exit, like full business cycle.
Yeah.
So I understand the entire process now. And like the new companies I started now have just grown so much faster than when I first built the first one.
What was the first thing you did when you sold?
First thing I called my parents.
Yeah.
Then I watched Netflix for like 6 hours. I was like, dude, I have no responsibility right now. Let me just like lay in bed, relax. Like, that was it. Booked a trip for my parents. I went to Europe, put them in like the Ritz, like had them experience this, like, because I've always been making money, but I never was able to like take time with it with my parents.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like you're always in the trenches, you're always working, and like, so that was like one of the things I wanted to do. So I booked that, took my mom to Europe, went to Spain, Barcelona, Madrid, Lisbon, and then London. And then like got her to see family in Europe as well. So it was like a fun time.
Nice.
Bought the Ferrari as well.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right after you sold the business, bought the Ferrari?
I bought it. So like what happened was right after I sold, I stayed on for 90 days to help support the transition. So like when the money actually hit, I like still showed up to work on the business the next day, jump in meetings, and transition the CEO to this new CEO and sell the company or sell the team that we have, that this new CEO is now the leader. We think they're phenomenal. Like we've like, they made an investment into the company, and we framed it as a like continuation of the growth of the business.
Yeah.
And then we still had to like hold the culture of the company. We still had to retain talent. We still had to, all the things were contingent of business growth. So we still stayed in there for 90 days, and or that was what we agreed to, which actually helps a lot when you're trying to exit. Is like a very good transitionary period.
Yeah.
So like ours was 90 days, and then after 90 days, 6 months of just support. Another 90 days of just like support with any like part-time support, and another 6 months. So 6 months in total of just like somewhat support, and then 6 months on the back end on just any time you need. But like after the first 6 months, there's really no much transition necessary.
Nice.
Yeah. So when June hit, because we sold March 21, 2025. So when June hit, June 21st, that's when I bought the Ferrari. And that's when I like just chilled in bed, didn't wake up early that day. I was just like, just ready to rock, watch some movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you feel like during that time? Was it nice to relax, or did you start getting a little bit antsy?
The first day was nice to relax. The second day was a little antsy. So I actually built my holding company 6 days after
it's in our DNA. It's like you sell the business, you're like 6 days later, I was back at it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, because we're in a similar boat where we started this business in 2020. So our goal, we're gonna sell in about 3 years.
Nice.
Is God willing, is what we're planning on doing. We want to sell for $100 million, God willing.
Nice.
And so throughout that, it's one thing I think about. It's like, dude, like, what would I do if I sold?
Yeah.
And it doesn't even feel like we come in the office and we're with the guys and like it's great. It's like a lot of days it doesn't even feel like we're working.
Yeah.
Because we're with the people that we genuinely enjoy working with. We consider these families. So that's interesting. It's more of a selfish question of like, what did it feel like?
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of different perspectives after you sell.
So like I said, so it started off with euphoric, amazing, love it. 6 days later, built my holding company, started making investments into companies kind of wildly, which I then learned not to do because I lost some money just quickly investing into certain pieces of companies that weren't vetted.
Yeah.
But I just saw opportunity and I had nothing else to do. So I was like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Right?
Yeah.
Buy 20% of this, 30% of this, like, et cetera. But I will say
we all make investing mistakes.
Dude, it's normal. But mine was pretty big investments. But regardless,
that'll happen.
But regardless, it all comes back because then I built better systems in terms of I now consult the companies first, see if I actually like the operator, like the founder, see if they're actually executing on the SOPs and businesses and process that I've set up for them. And then I will do an injection, or if I can, I'll just straight partner because I could just bring more talent and people without having to make an investment if it's a small enough business.
Yeah.
Those are like the pathways that I go now. But I will tell you, my most fun time is the build.
Yeah.
So like if I go back and I look at before my original exit, I had so much fun when I actually had a solid team that I like showed up to work. I was happy in the team meetings. Culture was rocking. People were running. You're having a great time. It doesn't feel like work. Like that is the best time. That is the moments that like you look for. And I look back at it now and I'm like, those were the fucking days. And I love that. And now as I build these companies, I'm more present in the build because I also want to grow, and there will be opportunity for exits on these as well if we want to. But right now I just have such a sick team, so much fun. Like I love my life and my operators, my founders, the team members we bring in, the culture we build. So it's so much fun during, and like you gotta appreciate the during more than the actual end.
So true. Yeah, we've all heard the cliche saying it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But
It's actually true. Yeah, like coming from experience, you know.
It's so easy for us to fall into the mindset and mentality of, oh, this present moment, the life I'm living now, is what it's going to be like forever.
Mm-hmm.
When really the experience we have in the day to day, realistically, a lot of those are just going to be such a short snippet of your life.
Yeah.
Like think about when you were building that first company, it probably felt like forever. Like this is what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
For the rest of my career is building this company. And then you only had it for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that I've taken more, I've been more intentional about is really finding the joy in the day-to-day and the mundane things. And just the simplicity, you know, the conversations, the people we talk to, the relationships we have, the ability to, there's a lot of people in third world countries that would kill to build a business. They don't have the opportunity we have.
Yeah, man.
And so that's one thing that's really helped me, where having the mindset of, oh, I got to show up to the office, or dude, I get to show up to the office and I get to build a business.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, like, oh, all right, got to go work out, got to hit the gym. Like, dude, I get to go hit the gym today. Like, there's people in a wheelchair that would kill to work out right now.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, I got to stick to my meal, or dude, I get to eat healthy, so I have more energy. I'm optimized and I feel better. Like, I'm so glad I am able to afford and have access to healthy, clean foods.
Yeah.
It's all a mindset.
It's a huge perspective shift, man.
That's it.
It really is.
That's it.
And like bringing yourself back into what you're doing on day to day, because like your life that you live is the present. Like you have goals and aspirations and you're going to run after those. And that's phenomenal. And you need to have fulfillment in and joy of running after things. But you're actually living the present.
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
Yes.
So like bring yourself back to the present. I do a lot of breath work and meditation and journaling.
Yeah.
And like it anchors me back because I'm always thinking to like make something better, do this. I'm the boss that sends the 3 a.m. text, the midnight text, and like that's just how it works. But it's not because I expect someone to respond back to me. I do have team members that do, and I appreciate every single one of them. But it's because my mind's just like rolling at that time.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
But I've become more regiment of like going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, hitting the gyms at certain times. If I miss the gym here, I'll do it in the evening, just so I consistently like show up and don't break those chains.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you live in the present, bro. You need to appreciate what you're building and build the life you want to build.
One thing that's really helped me too is, there's a lot of moments in life you don't realize the last moment.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm looking back and, not that anything bad happened, but it's just there's certain people that I've, that are no longer in my life. And if I thought, dude, if somebody would have told me, this is the last time that you're going to hang out with this person.
Yeah.
Or this is the last time you're going to be in this place.
Yeah.
Or experience this thing. You treat it pretty differently.
I agree.
And so what I like to look at it, to your point and what you were talking about, is I call it blissful discontentment.
Okay.
Where you're thankful and you're happy for what you have, but you're always striving to get more.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
What are some of your goals coming into the future?
Good question, man. I want to have a 100 mil exit as well.
Let's go.
So that's like my next target right now, at least. And yeah, you don't scratch the itch, dude. After you're gonna build something else for sure after that, if you choose to sell at that point. Because like I said, it's like I want to as the achievement, but then I'm like, I'm just gonna go build something else. I might as well just keep building it with the people I like. Because one of the things was like when I sold, I had to sell my team.
Yeah,
and like those are killers that I built.
Like, can I just bring my team with?
You know, so like those are things that I think about, but I do want to run after or at least have like 100 million valuation.
Did you have a forever non-compete clause? Is there a period of time where you could recruit your team members back?
I have a 5-year non-compete, and if my team members were either let go or they were quit and I didn't poach them, then that's fine. Yeah, but I can't influence in any way. And realistically, like I could just build more talent up. Yeah. It's just like you don't realize when you sell that you sold. Like what's valuable to a company is the people, is the IP, is the systems, the processes that you've built and organized, and then the people that execute it and understand it at a high level. That's the value that people buy. So then because that's the value, when you lose it's like, that's what they bought. And then
yes. Anybody can build systems, but when you're building people, that's a different skill set.
Yeah.
That's a different skill set.
Yeah.
So awesome, dude. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to share? Anything else that, dude, honestly, just lessons you've learned throughout your life?
Yeah, man. I think that you have to understand that your journey is built on skills. So I think that's the thing that I want to like let the most people know, like wherever you started, I mean, when I was 19, 20, I was so bad. Like I was doing cold calls to, dental places and like, 'cause I didn't know how to market for myself. I could market for them so compared to what I know now, but I was doing cold calls and I would just like, people just hang up and etc. And I was just so bad. Like you look at me at 20, you would not expect me at 29. Like, the same, like completely different human. Like literally, the people that met me at 20 just knows a different Renato. So it's all about the skills that you've built. That's what it comes down to.
Yes.
So your job is just to stack skills on top of each other and keep going and understand the different pillars. Yes, it's skills for business to make you more financially wealthy, but then there's also skills when it comes to relationships, friendships, being charismatic, to just build friends. Then it's like romantic. Then it's your spiritual attachment to God. And then being able to be emotional, where you have ability to be proactive at situations and not have emotional outbursts for situations because you're reactive. So like all of those are skills that is developed that makes you and allows you to grow into the life that you genuinely enjoy. You wake up, you're like, fuck, dude, this is my life. I love this.
Yes.
You know?
Man, well said. Well said. And it comes down to, and you shared it, you alluded to it, which I want to highlight. Bro, you talked, dude, it took you 4 years to get to the point where you're finally seeing success. You said you started your next company 6 days after you exited. You got that puppy up and going pretty dang quick.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, because a lot of people think that, like what I'm doing, or like, if it took me 4 years to get to this point, like, dude, if I restart, it's going to take me another 4 years. No, not at all. Because during that process, you're building the business, but more importantly, what you're really building is you.
Yeah.
And you're building your skill set. Mm-hmm. And you talk to a lot of millionaires, they always say like, the first $1 million. That first $1 million is always so hard to get. And the next million comes that much easier. So the next one comes that much easier. And it's just, after a while, it just compounds upon itself, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
So building, you got to build the businessman before you can build the business plan, and just building yourself day after day after day after day. That's what's most important.
I agree 100%, man.
Yeah. Do you plan on staying here in Tampa?
Yeah, dude. I like Tampa, man.
Me too.
I really enjoy Tampa. I might have a place in like Midtown Miami as well, just because there's just. I was just there. No, not to party, dude. It's really just to like. There's just a lot of good people there too. I was just there with my buddy there, and like I was just sitting, and someone that I'd paid a mastermind for was also just walking by, and we reconnected and said hello and just like connected. It was just like there's just people. Like you just want to be where there's great people to like bump ideas and connect with and things. So yeah, probably Tampa, or definitely Tampa ongoing, and then maybe a spot in Midtown over there as well.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would live in I like Miami.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, but if you do Midtown, dude, it's not that much. Because, like, Brickell is a lot. And I would not live in Brickell. I have a buddy that has an apartment in Brickell, and, like, it's just loud. It's just ongoing. It's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
But if you go to Midtown, it's like 10 minutes up. It's, like, a lot more homey, a lot more relaxed.
More
still
chilled
nice stuff. Like,
Yeah.
still nice restaurants. Still, like, great cars. But it's a little more, like, relaxed. Slightly more relaxed. And it's a good spot. Try it. Like, check it out. You'll appreciate what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because we thought about it, and Claudia just absolutely hates Miami.
Okay.
She was like, heck no, we're not moving there. Because, like, we knew we wanted to move somewhere in Florida. We were trying to figure it out. We're like, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca. And we're like, all right, dude, because our plan was Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
We're like, I'm like, I'll live in Miami. Claudia's like, heck no. She went to FAU. So when we met, she was living in Boca. We're like, all right, there's too many old people in Boca, Fort Lauderdale. And part of the reason why we didn't do Miami either is just because office space is so expensive.
It is, dude.
If
That
you want
is
to have
the
an
other
office
side,
and like, it's like, yeah, like we could afford to live there, but like if you're recruiting and people are moving to you and you got new agents, like Miami's not fun if you're not making money.
Not
Like
that
you gotta
I
be,
agree,
you gotta if you're gonna be there, you gotta be doing something.
Yeah.
But then we were gonna move to Fort Lauderdale, but then we found Tampa, and we're like, wow, Tampa's actually like, we never even thought about Tampa before. We're like, dude, Tampa's really cool. We actually really like it. We started spending more time here and coming back here more and more. We're like, yeah, Tampa's a spot.
Yeah.
And after dude, we were just in LA last week, which is actually really sad.
Really?
Dude, LA 30 years ago was the place to be.
Was the place, bro, yeah.
Anybody that's anybody was moving or living in California. Like if you're doing anything, you're in California.
Yeah.
Like it's completely went to crap.
That's
really
so sad, dude.
I know.
It really is. Because it's beautiful over there. I was just there, like...
Dude, I love California.
Yeah. It's
you got
great
the
weather.
Mountains, the beach.
Dude, it's a perfect...
humidity.
Logistics great, dude. It really is. It's just, they gotta change politics over there.
Yeah.
And improve. But I love Tampa. Tampa's like... I'm only here for 2 years. I've only been here... I first moved down to West Chase because, funny enough, I had a buddy that lives in Wesley Chapel. He's married. He's like has a beautiful home in Wesley Chapel. That was the only person I knew in Tampa before moving down. He's like, yeah, man, go to West Chase. It's close to downtown. You can get there. I get there, and I had to move in December because I wanted to have a new calendar year to have lower taxes. So I've been getting destroyed in Connecticut with my taxes.
Yeah, same. Chicago, brutal. Yeah.
So then I just move off a limb, just online, and I just like call the person. Don't even see it, just buy and go into rented space. And then once I get there, I'm like, dude, I'm in the suburbs. Like, as a single 27-year-old at the time, I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'll go downtown and stuff. But then when I finally got into West Shore, which I'm right around here,
yeah,
I was like, oh, this is it.
This is
the spot. Yeah, I'm close downtown, close to St. Pete, close to people, airports right here.
Boom.
Definitely the spot for me.
Yeah, this area is prime. This is the best place to be.
So prime, dude.
Close to because you got the airport downtown over here. You got St. Pete over here. Anywhere you need to be, easy commute.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes away, give or take, like to St. Pete.
Yeah, Renato, we're out of time, brother. But hey, appreciate you hopping on the podcast. It was a pleasure, my guy.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You guys, if you took value from this, you already know the drill. Like, subscribe, and share with somebody else. God bless.